something to be thankful for. The stars are here to play. The money goes to charity on this Thanksgiving Day on Cut Charts. And here's the host of Cut Charts, Jim Perry.
Happy Thanksgiving to you. Welcome to Cut Charts. Nice to have you here on a nice holiday. Thank you. Well, thank you. We have been having a lot of fun over the last few weeks with some of your favorite actors and actresses playing for some of their favorite charities. And it's gotten down to this. On our last show, Bill Daly was defeated by Vicki Lawrence, and Vicki Lawrence goes into the finals. The winner of this match goes into the finals, and someone's going to get another $25,000 for their favorite charity. Let's open the board, get to the cards, and we'll bring back these semifinalists, Ross Martin and Meredith MacRae. Hello, Ross. Good to see you.
Good to
Meredith.
see you.
And a happy holiday. Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
It's a nice holiday, Thanksgiving.
It really is. It's family time.
That's right. That's exactly it.
Family.
It's a family
I have
holiday.
to get home soon so I can cook, because I'm having my whole family over with a big turkey and
You bring
stuffing and everything.
with Heather and
Heather
Gordon
and Mom and
your
Dad,
mother and the whole
whoever's in
family?
town comes to my
Because you've
house.
got a show business
I have
family.
a big family. I've got to rent some chairs.
Good luck with the cooking. Nice to have you both back.
Thank you.
You are playing for whom?
I am playing for CCCI, the Committee to Control Cancer Through Immunization of UCLA.
Sounds good.
Dr. Morton's group.
And Meredith?
I am playing for United Cerebral Palsy. I've done a lot of telethons for them, and I love them. It's my favorite
Yes, you
charity.
have. You both made a lot of money so far for the charity, and of course now the pressure's on. Someone gets a crack at a lot more money. You cut the cards at the beginning of the match.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
we do.
We'll pick up where we left off. We play the best 2 out of 3. We're in the middle of game 1, and as we left off, Ross has moved way across the board. Now with a
Disgusting.
9. Disgusting, says Meredith. He needs 1 card for the first game. Meredith also with a 9, but she needs 4. We pick up with question 2. It goes to Meredith. Meredith, we asked 100 actors and actresses, off camera, are you really shy? How many actors said off camera they are really shy? You've been around them all your life. I'd be interested in your
I
answer.
sure have, and I would think that more than not, actors are shy. I think that when we're in front of the camera, we turn on and everything, but a lot of times we are very shy and very reticent. I would say maybe 63% said yes, they are shy.
Or in this case, a poll of 163 out of that 100 said yes, they are shy. Higher or lower, Russ?
Well, I don't think that they're as outgoing as they are on screen or on stage, because you got to play all kinds of things, and it's all got to be exposed, or else the human element in it is not revealed to an audience. But shyness is really introverted. And I think the figure would be lower than that.
Lower than that.
I think it's less than 60.
If it's lower, you'll play your cards, Ross. If not, it'll be Meredith with hers. And of course,
I
if you can
hope
hit it
so.
right on the head at any time, a $500 bonus for your charity. The actual number of actors who said off camera they are really shy is 51. And you're right, Ross. It is lower. Ross, you left off with a 9.
Change it.
Big change, needing 1 card for the game. The 9 becomes a 5, a better card.
I have to play.
You must play it.
I must play it.
Higher or lower?
Higher.
If it's higher, Ross has the first game in the match. He does. Ross wins game 1 and another $100 for his charity. So, we will set up for game 2. And Janice will deal out the same 2 decks of cards with the next cards off the top of the deck. Meredith needs this game. And Ross, we start with you. Ross, we surveyed 100 married men who are professional football players. And we asked them, at night, have you ever had such a vivid dream about a football game that you accidentally knocked your wife out of bed? How many football players have had such a vivid dream they knocked their wife out of bed?
I'm sure they've had the dreams. I don't know whether it's given rise to knocking the wife out of bed totally. But I'll bet they've belted them one every now and then in the middle of a dream. I would say that
And then they
should-
lied and said, I was asleep, honey.
I was asleep,
really.
honey. I wasn't aware. I think it might be as high as 36%. 36 out of 100.
36 out of 100 football players have knocked their wife out of bed. What do you think, Meredith?
Well, when Ross said that he thought it was going to be as high as, I was hoping that he would say a higher number. Now he's put me in a very difficult situation, because I was kind of going to agree with him. I don't think that happens too often.
Yeah.
Higher or lower?
36.
I'm going to say, because I think that we as actors, you know, we do our jobs in the day and then it's over. Same with professional football players. They do their job, it's over. They come home, they relax. I'm going to say lower.
Lower.
You're probably right.
The actual number of football players who have had such a vivid dream they've knocked their wife out of bed is 13. It's very much lower. Meredith is right. Mean Joe Green, and I don't know who the other 12 were. Meredith needs this game. Starts with a 7.
I will change that.
Can she improve it? Oh, yes, an 8.
Wonderful.
Beautiful.
Lower.
Lower than the ace. An 8.
Oh. I'll freeze.
And on the middle card, Meredith keeps Ross away from his cards. We'll be back with question 2 right after this. Game 1 to Russ Martin. Playing game 2, Meredith MacRae has jumped out to the lead. Now with an 8, needs 3 cards to tie things up. And the question to Meredith. Meredith, we asked 100 women. If an unmarried couple who has lived together for 5 years breaks up, should the woman be entitled to half the man's property? How many women think if an unmarried couple breaks up after 5 years, the woman should be entitled to half the man's property?
Did you say that you asked women or married women?
These are women, 100 women.
Well, everything's changing, as we all know, with the Lee Marvin case and everything. And I think that probably someone who has lived with someone, it's very hard, as we all know, to live with other people, whether we're married or not. I think that, yes, that they would think that they should be entitled. So I would say 70% thought yes.
Or 70 out of 100 in this case. What do you think, Ross?
I can only go by Olivie, who is, you know, a fairly liberated and contemporary woman. And she really didn't feel that it was a fair shake for the guy. I would say the figure will be lower than 70.
Because your wife says no, they shouldn't.
I'm going by her judgment.
All right. The actual number, which, incidentally, it's nice to have a wife feel that way, isn't it, Ross? The actual number of women who think if an unmarried couple breaks up after 5 years, the woman should be entitled to half the man's property is 60. It is a little lower. More than half, but it is lower. And Ross Martin, who's breathing a sigh of relief, has a queen.
Lower.
Lower than the queen. A 3.
Higher.
Higher than a 3. No, another 3 is not higher. Meredith, a break, a free chance to call off the 8.
Oh, it's such a hard one. Lower.
She says lower. She's right with a 3.
Higher.
Higher than a 3. A queen.
Lower.
If it's lower, she ties up the match. Yes. Meredith ties it up. Well, I said you two were good players. You are right down to the wire with each player with 1 game. Another $100 for the charity. And we get down to the tiebreaker. 3 cards, 3 questions. This decides who goes into the final and a crack at another $25,000. Ross, we asked 100 married men. Have you ever fallen asleep while your wife was kissing you? How many married men admitted they've fallen asleep while their wife was kissing them?
Are they still married? You said married men. If they're still married, it wasn't an awful lot, I can tell you that. I have a tendency to believe that guys, just if for nothing more than to keep peace at home, don't fall asleep while they're being kissed. Also, guys, as a general rule, don't have a tendency to fall asleep when they're being kissed. I would say, out of the 100, there might have been 11.
11 fell asleep. What do you think, Meredith?
Well, I had agreed with Ross on everything that he said because I don't think that many people fall asleep when their wife's kissing them. I certainly would hope not. But I don't agree with him on the percent. So I'm going to say definitely higher than 11 out of 100.
Higher than 11. Yeah, because, you know, you think maybe they're laying there almost ready to go to sleep at night.
And if Greg ever fell asleep when I was kissing him, the marriage would be over.
11 and higher. The actual number of married men who admitted they've fallen asleep while the wife was kissing them is 14, just a little higher. Meredith MacRae, she starts off the tiebreaker with a 5.
Oh, I'll change it.
Big change with just 3 cards. A 2.
Oh, higher.
Higher than a 2. A king.
Lower.
For a crack at the big money. Yes. Meredith wins it. Oh, right down to the one. Good man. And Ross, you've added another $200 for your charity. You're up near the 12,000 mark. You've done very well.
Thank you.
We'll see you in just a little while. Meredith's going to go for the big money with the money cards right after this. Tonight at Cerebral Trade in January, you're going to be hosting a telethon for them here, right?
I am so excited. I can't wait to be able to go and present them the check with what I've already won and, of course, what I hope I will win.
Let's go win some more right now. Let's get over and play those money cards. Come on. They can use it. Worthwhile charity, and I know it's one you believe in deeply. $200 of new money for United Cerebral Palsy and 3 cards to bet as you will on the bottom line. Up to the second level, we add another $200 of betting money and 3 more cards. Minimum bet's $50 till you get to the top card, the big bet, where you must risk at least half the money. And remember, unlike the main game, you're on your own, so we also give you that added incentive. If you get a double, you don't lose. The money just carries over. Good luck. Here's $200. And remember that you can change the base card on each level. Thank you, Lois. We'll start Meredith off with a 9.
I will change that.
Can only change it once. You must play this one. Well, right on the other side of the 8 with a 7.
I will bet $50 higher.
Not too good a card. She takes the minimum bet. $50 higher. No, but you don't lose. You don't lose any money.
I will bet
We carry it over.
$100 higher.
Now you feel a little more confident. $100 higher. And she's right.
Great.
300 with a jack.
I will bet $200 lower.
Jack, scare me. I hope you're right. 200 lower. Yes! $500 on this line. We move up a terrible card and give you the other 200.
And since it's a terrible card, I will change it.
Well, you didn't make a good change before. Let's see one right now. Oh, yeah! With a 2.
I will bet all $700 higher.
For 1,400, is it higher? Yes!
Great.
Careful now.
I'm going to bet $1,000 lower.
$1,000 on a 10.
Is that too much? Can I change it?
Oh, yeah, it's your decision. Let me just make aware there is 1 jack showing, so there are 4 aces, 4 kings, 4 queens, 3 other jacks that can hurt you, and, of course, 3 tens you wouldn't...
$1,000 lower.
Cross the fingers for her, gang. $1,000 lower than a 10. No. That was too many cards against you. But, all right, let's build it up with these last 2. Come on.
All 400 of it lower.
Let's try for $800. Is it lower? Yes, with a 4. And this is a pretty good card as we move it up. You have $800. What's it going to be?
Well, that 4 looks pretty good to me, so I'm not going to change it. And I'm going to bet, let's see, we're at the end now, right? So I'm definitely in the finals?
I have to check the money. Does she have enough money to be definitely into the finals at this point?
Okay.
Yes, she
does.
does.
In that case, I'm going to bet all $800 higher.
That's a good question to ask because you're playing for a worthwhile charity, and she bets it all. $1,600 if this is higher. Yes, it is! Took me a moment to realize that was a 5 and not another 4. So Meredith adds another $1,600 for United Cerebral Palsy. And that means that Meredith MacRae, Vicki Lawrence will play in the finals for a crack at $25,000. Maybe we'll have time for a consolation match before that. We'll find out right after we take time out for this. All righty. Here's where we stand at this point. If we have time for a consolation match with Bill Daly and Ross Martin, of course we'll do it. But we want to take all the time necessary for the championship match, so we're going to start it now. We started out a couple of weeks ago with 8 people. We are down to 2. They've had the highest scores this week, so they are going to play now for an additional $25,000 for their favorite charity. Janice is dealing out 2 brand new decks of cards. They cut them judiciously. Let's wish them well as we bring out once again Meredith MacRae and Vicki Lawrence. 2 good players down to the wire. Now, may I hasten to add, Vicki,
They're choosing up sides.
we know that Meredith is playing for United Cerebral Palsy. You are playing for whom now?
For the Jonas Salk Institute for Cancer Research in San Diego.
So 2 very good charities. And, of course, no one in this tournament goes home with less than $5,000 for their charity. We'll tell you a little bit more tomorrow about how much we are giving away happily to the favorite charities. Now, remember, since we are playing now for a lump sum of money, $25,000, forget about the money cards. The winner of this match, best 2 out of 3, the winner of this match, those cards that you just cut, that determines who gets $25,000 for their charity, all right? So every play of the
I
cards...
think I have to go throw up.
I have to go to the bathroom, so we're great.
Every play of the cards, every decision you make now could be the deciding
get
one.
out of here.
Okay, I'm getting out of here. Here we go. Toss of the coin determined that Meredith goes first playing the red. Meredith, we asked 100 married women. If your husband was in the mood for romance, but only because he'd just been looking at a Playboy centerfold, would you say no to his overtures? How many women would say no?
This is really a
Or
difficult
get out
question.
of here, as
That
Vicki
has
would
happened
say.
to me. I've got to tell you.
Oh, yeah?
And I personally resent it a great deal. I would rather turn him on than have him be turned on by a Playboy bunny. But this is what married women,
So
married
how many
women
said no? Forget it.
Is the question how many said no or yes?
Yes, how many said no? If once he made the overtures, they said, forget it, Charlie. I don't like your reasoning.
I would still say, though, that not that many would say no. So I would say 40.
40 out of
Said-
100
said no, correct?
no.
Okay.
Because he was reading Playboy. What do you think, Vic?
First of all, we don't know if the guy told her he's been reading Playboy, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, he could hide it somewhere.
Well, it says only because he's just been looking, so we would assume he knew that
That
she
she's
knew
been
that.
sitting there reading Gone with the Wind, and he's reading Playboy, and all of a sudden he
That's
jumps on her,
That's
right?
right. Yes,
Or she's
yes.
been sitting there reading the height report or something.
That's right.
National Geographic.
See, when he took the book and turned it this way, then they knew.
Oh, that's the hint. I see. Oh, gosh. Well, what'd you say, 40?
I
She said 40, said no.
Oh, yeah, I'll say a little higher.
Little higher. More would say no.
Yeah.
The actual number of women who would say no to their husband if they knew they'd been put in a romantic mood by a Playboy centerfold is 36, not higher, just a little lower. And you both were very close. Meredith gets that first all-important play of the cards with a 10.
All right, I'll change it.
And the 10 becomes a 4.
Oh,
Good
good.
card.
Higher.
Higher than a 4. A 10.
I'll freeze.
Playing it very carefully.
You're
That was
pressuring me.
no. The fact that so much
There's no
money is at
pressure.
stake.
Would you have frozen on the 10?
On the 10?
Yeah. I don't know. I can't.
really can't say
I
because
can't
that might
think
influence
anymore. I
players
can't
who would
think
come in
of-
again.
okay.
And I am no expert. You just have to follow your own
Oh,
instincts.
such pressure.
Vicki, we surveyed 100 married women who support the women's liberation movement. And we asked them, who carves the Thanksgiving turkey at your house? You or your husband? How many feminists said they carve the Thanksgiving turkey?
Oh, I don't really think turkeys have anything to do with feminism. I think that's sort of... Oh, I don't know. I don't understand all this women's lib stuff. A turkey, that's sort of traditionally a man's job, I
But
think.
how many feminists said they carved the turkey?
Oh, not very many. I'll say 16.
16 out of 100 avowed feminists said they carved the turkey.
Is the question how many feminists said they carved it?
That's right. These are married women who support the women's liberation movement. They are avowed feminists. How many carved the turkeys? She
So
said
how many
16.
feminists carved the turkey? 16?
16.
Oh, this is a hard one because I agree with Vicki. I am a feminist, but I always think that the man should carve the turkey. But the question is whether it's less than 16 or not. Oh, dear. I'm going to say that I think that it's higher, though.
Higher. I think
Not
more
much
than-
higher,
more
but
than-
higher.
Well, they would in my family because I carved the turkey lousy. That's why my wife does. I chop it all up. Looks like soup. 16 and higher. The actual, for turkey, it looked like soup, friends. That's pretty bad. The actual number of, especially the stuffing, but I got to go home and eat a nice turkey dinner tonight. What is it? The actual number of feminists who said they carved the Thanksgiving turkey is 40. It is higher. Meredith is right, very much higher. Meredith, you've got a 10.
I will change that 10. Since
See why I wouldn't tell you before
on
what
it
I thought?
before.
Because you had to
Okay.
make a decision. Oh, not a good one with a 7.
No choice, so I will go higher.
Higher than a 7. Yes, a 9.
Freeze.
Again,
Freeze.
cards not so good. Meredith is keeping Vicki away from her cards. Meredith, it is now possible to buy a sports car that's plated in 24-karat gold. That's a fact. So we asked 100 married men, if you owned a car like that, would you trust your wife to drive it? How many men would let their wife drive the 24-karat gold sports car? Quickly now, we're running out of
these
time.
questions, I'll tell you, I don't know. How many men would let their wives
How many
drive
would
it?
let her drive it? We're running out of time.
I'm going to say not that many. I will say 37.
37. Higher or lower, Vicki? How many would let her drive it?
Lower. I've got a big
Lower.
lower out there.
And
Hope you
the
guys
actual
are
number
right.
of married men who would let their wife drive their 24-karat gold sports car is 53. Not lower. It is higher. Meredith, you've got a 9.
Okay, change that 9.
And the 9 becomes a 2.
A 2. Higher.
Higher than a 2. A jack.
Lower.
For the first game of the match, yes! Meredith has game 1. And if she can win one more game, it's $25,000 extra for United Cerebral Palsy. As Vicki Lawrence tries to make a comeback for the Salt Institute, we'll be right back right after this. Gotcha. That's all the time we have for today. Tomorrow we'll decide who wins that bonus for their charity. Nice people today from the Latin Club from Hoover High School in Glendale, California, and some people from Modesto, California. See you tomorrow for the finals on Card Sharks.
Some members of the studio audience will receive S&E.
Hi there, I'm Todd Newton from Hollywood Showdown, the game show with the box office that actually pays you for a change. Hollywood Showdown is next, right here on Game Show Network.
This is Gene Wood speaking for Card Sharks, a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production.